night was the 101st and the strangest of his NHL life. Third career overtime goal for Travis Zajac, not including others in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Well, he rose to prominence with the Devils with Zach Parise and Jamie Langenbrunner as line mates, the old ZZ Pops. Between Jagr and Zubris the last few games, he has looked as comfortable and been as effective as he was then. What a big moment for Travis last night. Referees for tonight's game, Gord Dwyer and Steve Kozari, Thor Nelson and Vaughn Rohde are the linesmen as we're set to get underway in Staples Center of Los Angeles, second of 3 on the West Coast for the New Jersey Devils. At NHL 500 for the first time since opening night. A chance to poke above that this evening. That man, a 3-assist night to lead the Devils to victory yesterday. Patrick Elias with Adam Henrique and Michael Ryder. The Kings start out with their very best. Kopitar, Williams, and Dustin Brown. Underway, going for the takeaway is Adam Henrique, just seconds in, and Michael Ryder plays this in deep. Henrique back to the point, picks up Marek Zidlitsky, who throws one, and it goes out of play.
Well, it was Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Finals that the Devils were blasted in this arena and Pete DeBoer leading the charge at that time. But here's what the Devils have been accomplishing. First 7 road games, not a win. 0-5-2. Last 6, 4-1-1. And they've been doing it playing real good Devils hockey.
You just sense a looseness about them as they arrived late this afternoon here at Staples Center. Victory last night doing wonders for their confidence. Let's see if it carries over. Quick shot by Kopitar is blocked away by Corey Schneider. His first test of the night, Dana Zubris skates this out to center. The Kings, as were the Ducks yesterday, big and strong and deep. Dustin Brown plays it in, and an early icing call against LA.
Well, it's the second best start in Kings history, not since Wayne Gretzky was here. Has Daryl Sutter's Kings done so well? And there you see the last 7 games. But Daryl says we're not a high-low hockey club. I mean, you know, a lot of teams kind of you expect them to have their good games and their down games, but he prides himself and his team on the fact that they can be consistent. But that really comes with the strength of their depth too, Steve. This is as deep a team as there is in the National Hockey League when they're healthy. Carter is still out of the lineup.
31 points, 22 games taken away here by New Jersey, and now wrestled free by the Kings and Dustin Brown. Kings captain met at center ice by Adam Larson. Full change for LA. Here's Eric Chelina on the move for New Jersey. Banks it off the far boards and into the LA zone. No icing here as the veteran Robin Regehr quickly plays it ahead. Deflects away off the stick of Dwight King. He was the hero Friday night for the Kings after Ben Scrivens, the man who scored the game-winning goal for LA. Checking game. Neither team made many mistakes. This is Tyler Toffoli taking it here, and he fires one wide of Corey Schneider's cage. King throws one in front. Oh, Toffoli tried to reach out and grab it, just got by him. Toffoli has had a wonderful start this season for LA. Already 3 game-winning goals. Taken here by the Devils. Steve Bernier walks in. Throws it around net. Taken here by Bernier behind goal. The Devils still fighting for it as he gets some help down low.
And that was Matthias Tennengreen with his first hit of the game. He's in the lineup, as Deb mentioned, instead of Damian Brunner. One of the few lineup changes that we've seen with the Devils in the last few games.
Brunner clearing his head, getting his body straight. He's fired in a pretty tough point drought. Taken here by New Jersey, and Marek Zidlitsky controls for the Devils. Quick pass to center. Steven Giunta can't get on that. It's batted down by a hand pass.
Well, our key players are brought to you by Pure Hockey. No one is more hockey at the lowest prices guaranteed. And here are key players. There you see Eric Jonah, what he did last night. A power play goal and assist, 4 hits. He was dominant. Dwight King, with the injury to Carter's, get the chance to play in the top 6. 7 goals, that's the career high. A couple assists. He got the big one against the Devils, as you remember, on a deflection right in front of Corey Schneider for the only goal of the game in New Jersey. But talking to a lot of the scouts, and there's been a bunch of them out here, Steve, they're all raving about Eric Jelinek. They haven't seen him, and they're saying, boy, this kid's really good. And we're agreeing, yeah, he is.
Devils gave him time to develop down in the AHL, really coming on. And what we wonder will be an assignment to stay in New Jersey. He's certainly showing that he has the stuff to stay the entire year in the National Hockey League. 2-point night last night. Corey Schneider gets that away from the onrushing Linden Bay.
I like that about Corey Schneider, Steve. He's not tentative.
Tanner Pearson tries to drop it back to the point. Willie Mitchell, the ex-Devil, holds the zone and plays it across. Gets it back from Alec Martinez. Mitchell shot through traffic and it deflects wide. At the side of the net, Pearson battling for this. One of the very productive call-ups for the Kings. Shot at the point is blocked away in front. Gianta can't clear the zone. Martinez plays it back in deep.
Look at Jelena there, Steve. What a great elimination.
Big check on the far side, now punched out to center by Steven Gianta. Opening minutes at the Staples Center in L.A. Glad you've joined us.
For a young defenseman, you're always wondering, well, how's he going to do defensively? We knew all the offense, at least the big shot, but boy, he's been good in not breaking down very often in the defensive zone.
Schneider holds behind the net, now winds it around, and it comes all the way to the stick of Dainis Zubras. Cross-ice pass to Jagr. This was the heroic line last night for New Jersey. Picked up here by Jagr in the neutral zone. Deflected away. Jaromir follows up. Tries to funnel it to Dainis Zubras, who's brought down in the offensive zone. Jake Muzzin takes the puck for L.A. and sends it out to center. Peter Harold back for the Devils to play it ahead. Picked up here by Zajac, and he gives to Jagr. Trying to get around Kopitar. Jagr able to collect again and send it into the King zone. Drew Doughty, one of the best defensemen in the game, plays it ahead. Dustin Brown couldn't handle the pass. Bouncing puck kicked out here by Michael Ryder. Devils follow up, but big on Jake Kopitar. Gets the legs moving, and he's into the Devils zone. Feeds Brown. His shot blocked away. Zidlitsky got a piece of that. Devils break out in the cross-ice pass here for Michael Ryder. Kopitar is off to a great start this year for the Kings, a quarter of the way through. Here's Brown once again, and a save made by Schneider, who covers up. You talked about the contribution of Eric Jelena. 2 points last night, the goal and the assist, and this is something that's been on the upswing for the Devils now. 8 goals in 21 games from defensemen this season. Marek Zidlitsky has the most with 3. In the lockout-shortened season of 48 games, they had 13 as a team, Zidlitsky and Green, the leaders with 4, but they're on pace to eclipse that by a pretty good margin if they keep it up at this pace.
And you can live with a few mistakes defensively if they can be that productive. Remember, Devils have 2 outstanding goalies, so you give up a few chances, well, you'll live with that if you have to, because I just love the way the D are being involved in the game. Last night, Eric Jelena makes a pass at his own blue line, jumps all the way down, gets a great scoring chance. And you got to have that lack of not being ready to do those things.
Pete DeBoer said that has been necessary for the Devils this year. Critical was the word he used. Ilya Kovalchuk departing the organization. They knew the goals would have to come from places that they did not come from last year. Lawson plays it ahead. That pass gets by Cam Janssen.
Well, let's look at some of those defensemen scoring goals. And the D have been very active. That's what you like. There's Andy Green coming off the blue line. You know, a lot of times in past years, Devils defensemen have been very stationary there. Zidlitsky takes a walk to his right, hammers it home. Here again, he's down low in the slot, or at least in the mid-slot. Gets that pass, spins and blasts it home. And then Eric Jelena coming off the wing. He finds the puck and puts it upstairs. Steve, it drives defenders crazy when they don't know where that defender is coming from, and that's what the Devils have going for them right now. And when they're getting those chances, they're putting them in the net.
Getting the green light. Quick shot by Muzzin is saved away by Schneider. Back to the point again. Jake Muzzin fakes the shot. Now fires. Schneider again through traffic, makes the stop. Loose in front. And the Devils get the whistle as Schneider finds the puck in blue ice.
It's got to settle down. Now this is the second shift before the fourth line. And, you know, even when I played, Steve, I always pull for the fourth line to be effective and play their game. Well, there's been 2 shifts now where they've been pinned in their own end. Here they're dodging another bullet because of some big saves by Schneider. And then the Kings, look at 3 of them and 4 Devils. And there's the 5th one, Cam Janssen, all in that little space they call the blue crease. But Schneider's been good, Steve. I mean, he's got a tough situation. You know, he's seeing Marty winning, making great saves. A highlight save last night, one of the best ever and most important of the season. And then you got to go in and say, okay, now play that well, but but don't count on any goals.
Save percentage of .918. Pretty good for Corey Schneider. Just one win to show for it so far. Tanner Pearson behind the net. He had his stick fail him. It's Vey who heads to the bench. They continue on the forecheck here with Trevor Lewis, but the puck taken away by Travis Zajac. Given here to Jagr. 20 minutes of ice time last night in the overtime victory. Dishes off here, picks up Travis Zajac. Those two on with Dennis Zubris. Bunch up in the corner, puck comes loose and taken here by the Kings and Dustin Brown. Top line against top line here in this sequence as it's dumped in by Williams. Kopitar getting chase, Andy Green. Finds it around away from him, trying to guide the puck out. Doing so is Jagr.
Well, it's interesting. Last night, the Ducks, Bruce Boudreau went top line. It didn't work as well as he had liked, but I see Daryl Sutter's going to try the same strategy.
Home team with the last line change and has that advantage if they choose. Taken here by Robin Regehr. Slava Voynov, the Russian defenseman. Kings work their way out, but Mark Fane sweeps the puck away to the stick of Peter Harold. Steers it into the zone. Ben Scrivens finds it around the boards. Picked up here by Michael Ryder. Sent in deep. Patrick Elias quickly on his horse, tracks the puck down. Guides it away from Voynov. Kings try to punch it out to center nevertheless, and they do. A 2-on-1 coming up here. Quick shot, save made by Corey Schneider. He got the rebound too as he stuck the left pad out. Denying Jarrett Stoll. Keep it in the zone. Quick shot from the point. Save again by Schneider. Another try, and Schneider gets that one as well. Kings buzzing with Matt Fratton on the follow-up try. Carcillo can't take it away, and Elias gets it out of harm's way.
But a nice job by Patrick to throw it into the zone, to not get the icing so that line could change.
Steve Bernier quickly on the puck in the offensive zone. Quick shot, save made, and it's held by Scrivens. We'll step aside some 8 minutes in. No score in LA.
Well, I just mentioned the Devils can't afford to make a few mistakes if they have terrific goaltending, but they can't keep breaking down like this. Here's Matt Fratton. He wants to pass it, but he's got a lane to shoot it. First save by Schneider. Sticks out that left leg and gets the second one. And Corey Schneider's been outstanding, Steve, because these are tough enough. But the traffic he's had in front of him, and, you know, the Kings have been intense to try and punch home a scramble goal, but Corey Schneider's been all over everything that he's faced. But, you know, the team wants him to win. They want him to score. I don't know if the Devils can score goals, but one thing I know they can do, they can help him defensively, and they got to be mindful of that.
Kings had the first 6 shots of the game before that last one by Steve Bernier.
You know, the Devils didn't skate this morning. They had a tough one last night. You know, you cut them a little slack, 10 minutes to get their legs under them. And that's where we are now, but they've got to start to play more cohesively. Or they're going to be in trouble, because this King team, where they get 5 against Tampa Bay the other night,
5-2 final.
Yeah, so they can put the puck in the net at home. Kanj, I think in the last few games, the last 4-game winning streak, they've outscored their opponent 11-4.
That winning streak included the hat trick in the New Jersey-New York area, defeating the Islanders, Devils, and Rangers in succession. Picked up here by the Kings and thrown back a little bit dangerously towards his own goal by Willie Mitchell, who gets it back for LA. Willie Mitchell, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, a Devils draft pick. Picked up here at center ice and taken by New Jersey, backhanded in by Matthias Tedby. This is on the hit in the offensive zone. Puck gets by Lakionov. The Kings break out here. Tyler Toffoli content to dump in as LA needs a change. Peter Harold with open ice ahead of him. Darts out the center and plays it ahead. Ryan Carter takes the hit from Drew Doughty as Giannis sends it in deep. And a penalty coming up.
Oh, is it on Drew Doughty, that hit? I'm assuming it is.
Indeed.
I don't know, kids. I love hits in hockey. I mean, yeah, you know, Ryan lost the puck, but he looked like he wanted to handle it. Drew went over, threw a hip check. I don't know. I mean, this is just too close to call on my. Now, if Carter had dumped it in open ice and then tried to go down the boards, and then Drew had, went over and finished him off, but that was a quick happening play. We only say that because you don't want the Devils to get those chintzy penalties as well. You just want to see this game flow at 5-on-5 as long as possible.
Well, the Kings for the next 2 minutes without one of their best all-around players in Doughty. Devils power play, of course, big part of the win last night. It connected twice against Anaheim, but a 2-on-1 shorthanded. Lewis left the puck behind him and a shot that Corey Schneider has to hold on to with Stoll standing there.
Well, Jarrett Stoll missed some games, but as he got his legs now, he just blows by whichever Devil was trying to check him there. I guess it's Lochtianov. Well, at least Andre went down, so if the pass was going to be on the ice, he was going to stop that. The Devils, again, Steve, are not, I don't think, I know they know how good the Kings are, but they are not recognizing how sharp the Kings are in their breakout. Boy, that first pass out of the Kings zone is on the tape, it's hard, and they're going.
Off the draw, shot by Dustin Brown, goes wide. Elias will punch it back, and the Devils look to set up on this power play as Andy Green will start the rush. Taken here by Zelenov. He'll dump in. Michael Ryder getting chased down the right side. Revere tried to wind it around. Slava Voinov with the puck on his stick and is able to slap it out of the zone. Ineffective first 40 seconds to the Devils' power play as Schneider leaves behind his cage for Eric Zelenov.
You want to try and get into the hands of Elias if you can.
This is Elias playing it across. Shoveled in with one hand on the stick by Andy Green. Devils hold the zone. Nicely done by Zelenov as he gives it here to Ryder. Played it back towards the point, but it comes out of the zone. Here's Andy Green under a minute to go in the power play. Picked up off the boards here by Elliott. Hammered along the near boards. Checked by Mitchell and sent the length of the ice. Kings penalty kill, middle of the road. It's ranked 14th in the NHL. Zidlitsky dishes off. Zajac plays it across. Jaromir Jagr steps on to continue the power play. Cross ice to Zidlitsky, who fires in. Puck winds around. Lochtianov gets it here to Jagr. Devils trying to get something out of this, but the puck taken away. And a 2-on-2 shorthanded for the Kings. Here's Stoll once again. Throws one across, and it's fired wide of the cage. Trevor Lewis got the shot away. Here's Lochtianov. 10 seconds to go in the power play. Puck back off his stick. This is all havoc from Stoll and Lewis on the penalty kill.
Boy, are they quick. Steve, the Devils are going to have their heads up and move the pucks in a hurry, or they're going to get stripped of them.
Back to 5-on-5. 9 minutes to go in the opening period. Played across Linden Bay. To pump it back deep in his own zone. Martinez across and Mitchell. Nice breakout pass, and here come the Kings again. Justin Williams over the line. Dishes off. Return pass from Bay. Broken up by the Devils. Nicely done. And skated away here by Dina Zubris. Zubris dumps in. And Carter on the forecheck for New Jersey. Taken here by Pearson. Fane pinching in. Helps keep it alive for the Devils. Bay deep in his own zone. Throws it in front. Drew Doughty ahead, and the Kings will break out. Bouncing puck gets by the stick of Linden Bay. He's on the puck again. Couple of Devils to contend with. Fane is there. Now joining the fray. Tyler Toffoli trying the power move. He is sealed off by Green. Adam Henry plays it ahead. Michael Ryder on the move for the Devils. Beautiful move. Got around Muzzin, and then Doughty there to help to break it up. Mike Richards. Over the line. Elias helped break that up. Freewheeling period at this point now as Dwight King sends it into the Devils zone. Zelenov takes a bump to Toffoli. Punched ahead by New Jersey. Lochtianov on the move for the Devils. He's all alone. Rest of the team in a change as Revere is back to defend. Good stick work by Lochtianov to continue with the puck. Tries to punch it back towards the point. And look out. A chance here for the Kings. Breaking through his foot. Dragged down. And a penalty coming up against the Devils.
Just another example of the Kings' quickness. They spring loose and draw a penalty.
Welcome back. The Kings inside the Staples Center tonight, but come January 25th, they'll be playing outdoors at Dodger Stadium. And the next day, Sunday, the Devils will be playing outdoors at Yankee Stadium against the Rangers. Coming up on the GMC Intermission Report, Stan Fischler goes one-on-one with the commissioner, Gary Bettman, to talk about the Outdoor Stadium Series. That's all coming up on the GMC Intermission Report, guys.
Well, Matt Fratton liking his first period, Steve. He can't believe how many times he's been able to fly down the right wing and get loose. First time he had two good scoring chances. That time he drew the penalty by Andy Green.
New Jersey penalty.
Kings have 6 scoring chances. Fratton has 4. Quick shot is fired away by Kopitar. Sent away by Schneider. Devils can't clear the zone. Here's Drew Doughty on the puck for LA. Kings power play ranked high, taken here by Williams and played across. Tied for 8th in the NHL as LA with the man advantage. Doughty's shot, save made by Schneider. He got the rebound as well and holds on.
Well, this could be real ugly, Steve. Let's be honest. That Corey Schneider wasn't red hot. He's out of the Santa Ana breeze so far, and he's been flowing like that too. Steve, look at him. He stands up, sees the puck, and then has to slowly get to the right poles. But quite honestly, the Devils have turned some games around their penalty killing, and they might have to do it again tonight because this King team, I haven't seen a team quicker than what we're watching right now.
Mike Richards wins the draw back to Doughty. LA will set up here. The ex-Flyer Richards. Dustin Brown in front. Big save made by Schneider, and it's cleared away by Ryan Carter.
Another good save. Wow. And, you know, Brown's all alone there. This is unusual. As well as the Devils have been playing recently, Steve, they're really allowing a lot of great scoring chances against.
Long pass out of the zone. Doughty to the stick of Brown. Doesn't get on the puck, and it's cleared away, though, by Adam Larson. 1 minute to go. The tripping penalty to Andy Green at 12:35 of the opening period. Jake Muzzin takes the pass for LA. Throws it across. Pearson tries to center one. Defended away by Mark Payne. Devils reach out for it. Henrique trying to get a stick on it. Linden Bay gets it back to the point, and Muzzin plays this across. Big shot, point off, saved by Schneider again, and he holds on.
Rebound control outstanding for Corey Schneider early in this game. Any rebounds that have bounced off him have been tight into him. Not way up in the higher slot here where he could be in trouble. And here you're going to see again this little pull move and to the backhand forehand by Brown. And again, great read by Schneider to shut all the scoring holes closed.
5 shots already on this Kings power play, which still has ample time left. 37 seconds. Face off to the left of Corey Schneider, and it's one back by Linden Bay. Muzzin controls for the Kings, throws one in front. Save made by Schneider again. He got the pad on it and cleared away.
You know, 2 of the guys called up from Manchester, Steve, are on the power play. That tells you a little bit of the depth that the Kings have.
Bay, one of them, and he's the man who skates it into the zone here. Centering try off the side of the cage, picked up here by Pearson. Gets it back to the point where Jake Muzzin has it. Plays it back into the corner. This is Muzzin for LA. His shot blocked away this time off Adam Larson. Kings able to control again. Linden Bay, pass across. Voinov will collect it. Penalty time is up. Andy Green is out of the box. Back to 5-on-5, but the Kings still have the Devils pinned in. Battle for the loose puck. Pearson is there. Larson for the Devils. Comes back towards the point. Drive by Willie Mitchell. Blocked away and punched out of the zone by Zidlitsky. 6 shots on that Kings power play. Corey Schneider gets them all 13 in the game for LA so far. We'll step aside under 5 to go in the opening period. We're scoreless.
Tonight's Cold Hard Facts are brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. And it's about that man there, number 26. He had his 18th career 3 assist night last night. There you see the number that he's totaled the most assists in all-time Devils history. And I was curious, did he ever have more than 3? He hasn't reached that level yet, but don't count him out. And Patrick's the type of player, he didn't have one of his best games in terms of handling the puck and doing some of the magic playmaking that we've seen. But boy, when he had the opportunity to execute and decide on which was the right play, he did it beautifully, and he set up 3 of the Devils' goals last night. As we got a little scrap going here.
It is Cam Janssen, and this will be his first fight of the season. Dan Carcillo steps in against Jansen. Two who can go.
And two the same size. This is a real well-matched up fight, and Cam's done this before. Oh, baby! He was waiting for that one haymaker, and I think he landed it. And I got to tell you, Steve, these are not staged. Look at the intensity on their faces. This is real stuff. Now, the fourth line for the Devils struggled in the first period. They had a couple poor shifts. And I'm sure Carcillo wanted to make his impression or make an impression, and the fans here love it. And Cam, knowing his line not doing well, needed a little bump in energy, so he dropped his mitts. And the result was a pretty darn good fight.
Carcillo has twice in his career led the NHL in penalty minutes. Jansen picked up his first minor only last night.
What do you think he's saying there, Cam? Just come on, let's go. I'm in LA. Come on, these are the bright lights. Let's crank this game to another level. Let's see, there's going to be one big right coming here. Waiting, Cam's waiting. Boom. Good, nobody got hurt. Lots of energy.
Pretty even scrap.
Yeah, it was good.
Back at the ranch, we'll beat the Boars Devils. Scoreless game, 4:53 to go.
Los Angeles penalties number 17, Daniel Carcillo.
5 for fighting for each.
5 minutes for fighting. Time of the penalties, 15:07.
Peter Harrell chips it out of the zone and takes it by Robin Regehr. Well, we've seen that from time to time. Change the course and momentum of the game. Let's see what effect it has here late in the first period. Devils needed to do something to stem the tide. Breakout pass by the Kings. Deflects off the stick of Trevor Lewis and back into the zone where Mark Fayne takes the hit. Fayne works it ahead. Ryder in the corner. Works the puck free. Taken here by Peter Harrell. Elias trying to control along the far boards. Battle for the loose puck. Squirts loose and it comes here to Fayne, who skates at the center. A 13-1 shot disparity. Dominant period for the Kings. Nothing to show for it yet. The shot by Dwight King is gloved by Schneider.
Well, the Devils have only one shot, Steve. Obviously, if you've been watching the game, fans at home know this hasn't been a good period. But last night was a different story. Devils defense been very active. How about that? Jelena 4 shots, Zalitsky 3, Green 3. They got 10 of the 25 shots, and they had a huge impact. Right now, though, Steve, as we saw in the last play, Devils are having trouble even getting the puck dumped into the Kings zone.
Off the draw, played here. Drew Doughty's shot blocked away and picked up off the boards by Andy Green. Shovels it ahead to the stick of Jagr. Pass by the Kings, got by Dwight King, taken here by Zalitsky. Banks it ahead to the stick of Jagr. Devils on the move. Nice pass across, picks up Zajac, plays it across. Green, that puck got behind him, and the Kings quickly break out there. That's been their calling card here in the first period.
Devils not passing well. There again, Travis last night would have put that on the stick of Green. Tonight he puts it in his skates and the play breaks down.
Justin Williams plays the puck wide. Two-time Stanley Cup winner with Carolina, 06, and with the Kings 2 years ago. Taken here by Jelena. Punched ahead. That pass just by the outstretched stick of Zubris. LA gains the zone again. Williams gives here to Kopitar. Return pass. Williams with a shot. And he fired it wide. So quick, so dangerous is this trio with Dustin Brown. Played back to the point. Alec Martinez with a shot and a whistler that went wide. Willie Mitchell picks up the puck. Plays it behind the net. Sent in front by Kopitar. And back to the point where Mitchell's got it. Puck comes back into the corner. Brown tries to send it across. Kopitar's try is blocked away. Adam Larson.
There, Adam's got to get it out.
Puck stayed in. Pulled by the Kings. Battling for the loose puck is Williams, and now finally lifted away by New Jersey.
See, there again, Steve, they don't get it deep, the Devils. And here comes the Kings.
2.5 to go in the opening period. Steered into the Devils' end by Tanner Pearson. And picked up here by Howard. Puck squirts out of the zone as it got by Lewis. Michael Ryder quickly plays it across. Gives here to Elliott. Patrick Elliott holds. Puck goes deep in the Kings zone. Bay trying to get on this. Elias again on the far boards, able to control and maneuver it back. Michael Ryder, pass broken up. Lewis with the takeaway. Trevor Lewis in on Schneider. Big save, Schneider. Rebound, Pearson, and that wouldn't go. Oh my, has Corey Schneider been incredible in this opening period. Regier turns around, and that's blocked away by Fane.
Devils not recognizing where their game is at right now, Steve. They're just totally high-risk plays, and they haven't even executed the simple ones. So just get out of this period without getting scored on.
Up comes here to Zidlitsky and played ahead to the stick of Steven Giunta. Ben Scrivens has handled just one puck in this period. Stoll runs it around the boards. Matt Pratt gobbles this up. Pinned against the boards by Green. Puck taken here by the Devils. It's Giunta. Tries to play it out. Green, his shot, a wrist shot that goes wide. Zidlitsky pinching it. Just over a minute to go in the opening period as the Kings skated away, and Dwight King dumps it in.
Last minute of play in the first period.
Well, that's music to Corey Schneider's ears, Gans.
14 saves. Not over yet. Icing against the Devils.
Well, you're going to see here now, I like Michael Ryder. He makes some nice plays, but he's got a King right in his face. He's under tremendous pressure. Just get it in deep. One save there, and then both Devils run by the rebound. Fortunately, I think it's King that misses hammering the second shot. Excuse me, Pearson, the youngster from Manchester, he shanked it wide. What do we got here, Steve? 14-1. Both goalies perfect. Little difference in the amount of work we've had, though.
The one shot by the Devils, Steve Bernier, roughly 11 minutes ago. Muzzin plays it across, and here's Doughty on the move for the Kings. Taken away by Zajac at center ice, but Muzzin quickly takes it back and gives here to Dustin Brown. Here's Brown, his shot, another try that goes wide off the stick of the Kings captain and sent into the Kings zone by Zubras. Justin Williams tries to chip it out of the zone. Devils able to hold the zone and played here by Adam Larson. 20 seconds to go. Shot by Larson, and that's fought off by Scrivens. He blocked it away.
Oh, been another breakaway to Brown if Zajac hadn't knocked that down way up over his head. Now 10 seconds to go. Devils just got to regroup, Steve. I mean, you have nights like this, and you know what? If you can get together in the locker room and understand that Kings can't piece this pace up, that the Devils will get their turn if they just play a little bit smarter. It's really all they have to do. They got their goaltender going again tonight, and they just got to give him a little more help to goaltender.
They went 12 minutes between shots, the Devils did. Larson had the second one. After one period, the ledger shows it's all even here in Los Angeles.
Well, he's warmed up, isn't he? Where he got his game in gear right off the top, and it ended during the last few seconds with more good chances.
Avoid the stress of holiday shopping this season, giving the gift of the Devils Holiday Hat Trick, presented by Mountain Creek. This 3-game plan comes with a Mountain Creek lift ticket, a limited edition Devils ski hat, and tickets to see Jersey's team take on the Blackhawks, Capitals, and Avalanche. Log on now to NewJerseyDevils.com/hat trick to find out how you can score a hat trick this holiday season. Each one of the teams we're seeing tonight bracing for the great outdoors. They each are part of the Stadium Series, and it's a hot and cold idea, you might say. Devils, of course, host the Rangers at Yankee Stadium on the 26th of January. For the record, the average temperature in New York City on that date is 44 degrees. The LA Kings host Anaheim a day earlier at Dodger Stadium. The average temperature in LA on that date is 68 degrees, and that is the rainy season here in Los Angeles. They're hoping it all comes off splendidly well, and good men are in charge. A good man for the Devils is Mark Fane, and he's downstairs with Deb Placey.
Thank you, Steve. What's the story of the first period for you?
We got to give all our credit to Schneider right now. He really kept us in that. I mean, the shots alone were 14-2, so we got to get the puck down their end and do what we do well, cycle, and have a lot of zone time.
How can you do that?
First, we got to block some shots. They've been getting a lot through, and we got to be smarter through the neutral zone. I think we're trying to get a little too fancy and just get back to what we're used to, just chipping it in and getting after them.
First trip back to the Staples Center since Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Final. Any flashbacks for you?
Yeah, definitely. Earlier walking around and just remembering that walk back to the bus after Game 6. But you got to use that as motivation and just take that, and can't really worry about it too much. It was a long time ago now, so just got to worry about this year.
All right, thanks, Mark.
Thank you.
The Devils have only allowed 12 first-period goals all season long, and they do not allow one there, thanks to Corey Schneider. A quick break, and we'll continue. It's the GMC Intermission Report. Stan Fischler with Gary Bettman still to come.
Saturday night, MSG Plus, the Devils take on the Sharks. Live coverage gets underway at 10 with Visa Devils Game Night. Devils Sharks Saturday night. The West Coast trip concludes on MSG Plus. Of course, here in 2012, the Kings won their first and only Stanley Cup. As an 8th seed, they went to the Cup Finals in 1993 as a third-place team in the old Smythe division. Now, strangely, this is a franchise that had just one first-place finish in its history, winning the Smythe in 1991. It's strange because great players have come through L.A. Marcel Dionne, Taylor Simmer, Goring, Robitaille, Vachon. From 88 to 96, Wayne Gretzky. And the only first-place finish back in the 90-91 season. One of the many contenders in the Western Conference this year. About a quarter of the way through for most teams in the National Hockey League. This game, a third of the way through, and the Devils hoping for a bigger, better response to start period 2 here as Jaromir Jagr controls the puck for New Jersey. Gives here to Zubris as he's tied up by Kopitar. Travis Zajac centering this line. Puck winds around. Andy Green, quick shot on goal, and Scrivens blocks that away. Comes here to Muzzin, and he sends Kopitar on his way. Dustin Brown with a backhand drive, fought off by Corey Schneider. And picked up here by Jagr. Long pass across, off the skate of one of the officials, and the Kings play it across the ice. Andy Green takes a bump on the near side, gets away from Toffoli, plays it across. Elias went for the one-timer. The puck is right in his skates, and it's taken away by Dwight King. King ahead. Toffoli over the line. His shot, stick to side. Save made by Schneider on a rebound as he robs Dwight King. Stops 15 and 16 on the night. Another centering try by Toffoli. King couldn't get the shot away. Takes a check from Adam Henrique, who goes down. Adam Larson can't clear the zone, but now the Devils push it away.
On that last rush now, Devils having trouble getting shots on goal, Steve. Andy Green's got to hang on and wait and really probably shoot it on net. Instead, he tries a high end pass that doesn't work, and the puck is turned over. Again, the Devils just really got to start thinking, we got to get some offense going. Let's throw some pucks at the net. Look at what happened last night. How the pucks went in. They don't have to be pretty plays.
4-3, some unorthodox goals for New Jersey, including the game winner. Jarrett Stoll gets around Fane. Keeps going. Hook checked away by Peter Harrell. But the puck comes loose. Bratton tries to control for the Kings. Picked up here by Fane for New Jersey, who shovels it ahead. Martinez able to hold the zone for L.A. Peter Harrell, the one-time King. Stoll tries to throw one in front. Swept away by the Devils, and they'll skate this out to center. This is Matthias Tedenby. Back checking there is Trevor Lewis, and punched ahead by Dustin Brown. Kings had 8 hits in the first meeting against the Devils Friday night. One of the NHL's best in that department. Drew Doughty across to Muzzin for L.A. Day avoids the poke check attempt of Travis Zajac, and now puts the brakes on. Drops it back for Doughty. Here's Doughty's shot. Saved made by Schneider. Brown jamming at it in front, and it wouldn't go.
What do you think, Steve? That's about the, what, 6-7 time where it's been combination shots. One shot and then a rebound.
What's fascinating to me is how little movement there is for Corey Schneider in the process of making all these saves.
Well, they're just falling right out in front of him. He shouldn't move. But my point is, he's not getting a lot of help. One shot, and then with 2 Kings there, he's got to make a second. And, you know, on good nights, goalies will tell you, yeah, I had to make the first save, but there was no second opportunities. Well, that's not the case. Boy, he's been the star of this game so far. And obviously, the next goal is going to be huge because it's going to change the game one way or the other.
Muzzin plays this ahead. Picked up in the corner by Michael Ryder. Puts it behind the net and taken here by Doughty. Kings can't clear the zone. Elias punches it back in deep. Doughty sends this to center. Zidlitsky to collect this for New Jersey. Opening minutes of period 2. A scoreless game at the Staples Center. Long pass Zidlitsky to Elias. Sent into the zone. Revere takes a hit from Henrique. Elias there to help out. Two Devils digging at it. Kopitar there for LA. Elias back to the point. Jelena, big drive, and the redirection deflected out of play.
Well, this is probably no surprise to Kings fans. We're talking about shots on goal. The lowest total allowed at home. New Jersey is right at the top of the heap. Right behind him in third place are the Kings, and that total is going to really be reduced if the Devils don't start to pour a little more rubber at Ben Scrivens. But why the Devils are doing so well recently? Shots against at home. Same thing for the Kings.
Kings, by average, outshooting their opponents by 7 shots a game. This is a wide disparity here tonight. Jelena behind the net, picked up here by Adam Larsson for the Devils. Outlet pass. Here's Ryan Carter on the move. Voinov is the defenseman back. Carter puts the brakes on. Able to punch it in deep, but the puck deflects up high and out of play.
Well, everyone associated with Corey Schneider, management, coaches, players, they love this guy because he just plays. And you can imagine the frustration someone might feel where his record is 1-5-3, but look at the goals against and the save percentage. But unfortunately for Corey, the Devils have been shut out 4 of his 9 starts. But it doesn't appear to bother him, and you know him, Kenji, you've been around him. It's not just that he says the right things. I think part of the reason is he's been in a difficult situation for 4 years in Vancouver, so he's a little bit used to it.
Here's Fratton, who's been a handful for the Devils, and Peter Harold. One of the players lost their gloves. Taken here by the Devils, and Tettenby tries to shovel it ahead. Puck jarred loose by the Kings, and Jarrett Stoll quickly on this.
Now, there's no reason why the Devils can't get that puck in deep. That's all I'm saying is get a little forecheck going. Fired by those Kings defensemen. Get them to turn and have to move a little.
Instead, this is Stoll, who's all over the puck. Played across, able to pick up Martinez, who fired one wide. Willie Mitchell hammers this out of play, and a stoppage here.
Well, tonight's been a big shot blocking night for the Devils. Peter Harold was terrific last night. Here he's battling without a glove to try and shut down Matt Fratton, who was maybe the best King in that first period. And last night, team high 5 block shots in almost 19 minutes, and he played a minute 17 shorthanded. Devils are getting good mileage out of their defensemen, on both sides of the puck. I know some people think they make too many mistakes, and coaching staff might too, but they're finding a way with the help of their goalies not to give up many goals.
Here's Dinah Zubris one-on-one, able to drop this back, swept in by Andy Green. Jake Muzzin tries to punch it out of the zone. Quick shot there by Zidlitsky is blocked away. Back to Zidlitsky again. He fires, and a blocker save made by Scrivens.
No stick. Scrivens stick playing in the corner. Devils wanted to keep that play going.
Green able to quickly gobble up the puck. Devils gain the zone again, and Scrivens still without the necessary hardware. Now Dustin Brown tries to buy some time. Elias able to hold the zone and play it back in deep. Here's Jake Muzzin on the puck. Nice job by Doughty to push the stick closer to Scrivens, and now the Kings have this at center ice as Justin Williams dumps in. Here's Adam Larsson for the Devils. Devils just trying to stabilize the game right now. This bouncing puck off the stick of Elias is controlled by Scrivens.
Well, Scrivens has seen most everything. Hasn't had a lot of traffic in front of him until here. You're going to see it's his own man, Brown. Hooks his stick, and Ben's got to let it go. It ends up to the left of him. Look at the goalie there. No stick, and what a blocker save. Stickless blocker save, Steve. That was pretty smooth. I would have probably turned my hand the other way and tried to catch it. It would have been stupid. He's got no padding there. Could have broken his fingers. And even without the stick, Steve, he's been hot.
He's been exclusively the goaltender since the injury to Jonathan Quick. Darryl Sutter has said at some point we're going to turn to Martin Jones. Toffoli with a quick shot. That went wide. But why change it up now? Quick could be out until after Christmas.
He didn't say this year. I mean, that's such an open-end statement.
Richards plays it across. Elias quickly on the loose puck and throws it ahead for New Jersey. Full change for the Devils. 6.5 into the period as Toffoli dumps in. Mark Bain back with Porcillo on his tail. Banked ahead to the stick of Tedney and played ahead here to Andre Laktianov. Those two on with Cam Jansen on this shift. And Jansen picks up the puck and sends it in deeper for Tedney. Laktianov takes for New Jersey. Checked by Martinez. Nice reversal by Tedney. Tries to come out with it and instead throws behind goal. Bain pitching in, absorbs the hit from Stoll, but he did well. Devils still control the puck. Played back to Mark Bain and sent in deep.
One of the better puck possession shifts for the Devils.
And it's Tedney contributing to that. Devils able to hold the zone. Quickly played here by Bernier. Hook checked away by Stoll and worked free by LA. Comes here to Matt Fratton. Tries to get a leg up on Green, and he's dragged down on the play, and it's a penalty against New Jersey.
Yeah, he got a leg up all right, Steve. He drew the penalty by having those feet go up in the air. We'll see if it was a real one or not. This replay will confuse you on, first of all, why there was a penalty and who should get it. Now, Andy Green starts to go down because he knows Fratton's going down on the ice. He's trying to beat him down there so he can't dive. Now, look at here. They're saying that little hit right there by Steve Giannis caused the King player to lose his skates. And look at Andy. Andy's saying, come on, like, come on, really get a good look at that before you make the call. But the Devils now, with their hands full, they've had trouble hanging on to the Kings 5-on-5. Now it's 5-on-4 in favor of the team in black.
What a key moment in the hockey game as the Devils came off, just as you said, one of their most productive offensive zone shifts, and now shorthanded with Gianta in the box for the next two. Kings didn't score on that first power play as it comes out to center, and Doughty in LA has to retreat, but they did fire 6 shots on Corey Schneider. Here's Doughty on the move for LA. Skates it over the line. Couldn't handle the puck, and Travis Zajac, good start to the penalty kill, sends it the length of the ice.
Well, nice slap on the stick by Travis Zajac, not allowing Doughty to dump it behind the net.
Puck batted down at center ice by Patrick Elias. Kings push it in. This is a delayed offside, and Andy Green will bide some time here. Fires the length of the ice. Scrivens will hold on to this just in case.
How often do you see that? Great play by Andy Green to not only clear the zone, Steve, but to get a face-off, which really helped the Devils. Now look at this. This is a great low angle. Look at that. Whoa, baby, that was inside the pipe. At least I'm going with that. I don't know if they gave him a shot on goal. They may have. Devils have 5. No, they did not. Thank you.
You had a teammate named Jude Druin who fired one in from 200 feet away. Andy came about 7 feet away from matching that, I guess. Here's Lyndon Bay taken here. Punch back to the point. Voinov has this and plays it across. Jake Muzzin at the point for LA. Carter and Laktianov on the penalty kill for New Jersey. Soft shot by Toffoli is handled by Schneider. Work back to the point, and Muzzin has it again. Played across for Voinov for the Kings. Vey controls. A lot of personnel changes here on the Kings power play. They used many. Tanner Pearson with a shot in front that's saved by Schneider. Picked up by Larson, trying to send it around to Carter, who sends it the length of the ice.
Good penalty killing by Schneider again, Steve. I know that's no cliche, goalie's the best penalty killer, but we're seeing it.
Pearson across. Here's Mitchell with a shot, going for the redirection. Henrique gets a handle on the puck and clears it away. Admirable job by one of the top 7 penalty kill units in the league this year. Final seconds tick away, and Steven Gianta's out of the box. Drew Doughty plays it across. Big drive by Porcillo, and it's fired wide. And caroms away. Picked up in the corner here by Peter Harold for the Devils. Approaching the midway mark of period 2. It remains scoreless. Schneider under siege early on in this game. Taken here by Elias at center. Gives here to Henrique. Out of Henrique over the line. Instead left the puck there. Porcillo tried to handle it and give it to Doughty.
Well, there again, I know it sounds like a coach. All Adam has to do is just dump it down into the corner. He had a man breaking.
Carcillo on the puck for LA. Centering try. Matt Fratton at the doorstep. And this deflects out of play. Kings power play is 0 for 2 with 9 shots. We're still scoreless.
Welcome back to LA. Before the game tonight, Pete DeBoer was talking about that the year that they went to the Stanley Cup final against these Kings, they got a lot of offensive contribution from their defensemen, but for whatever reason that left them last year. He said, though, it's back in a big way this season, and one of the big reasons why, Marek Zidlitsky coming up in the intermission, guys. We will focus on the creative play of number 2, guys.
Look forward to that, Deb. Thank you. Better than halfway through period 2 and regulation time. Still no score. Corey Schneider's saved 22. Ben Scrivens has had to handle just 5.
Yeah, right now, Steve, Devils want to be a little less creative, a little more safe and basic, just so they give themselves a chance to get the puck on their stick. Otherwise, you know, the Kings are so quick. They're getting to it first, as we see here again.
Got their top line out here and played back to the point. Kopitar can't hold. Trying to get on the puck is Travis Zajac. Comes free for Jaromir Jagr. Quickly over the line. His shot blocked away by Robin Regehr. And it comes to the stick of Voynov. Played ahead for Dustin Brown. Out of his reach and taken here by Adam Larson. Bouncing puck in front of Scrivens' goal is handled here by LA. With all of this that's going on, the Devils right in this thing as it remains scoreless after an icing call against the Kings.
Well, Dustin Brown has really come into his own. He had 2 goals in the last 18 games, and I say that, Steve, because he's struggled a little bit. Only 4 goals, 4 assists. He's on the top line, and so, you know, you want double those numbers. But as you mentioned also, though, he keeps on hitting. Even when he's not scoring, he's still doing the other parts of the game, but he will eventually find it, and he has recently, where he scored a couple of goals.
Few Kings were more valuable when they won it all a year and a half ago. He had 20 points in 20 playoff games for LA, in addition to all the intangibles that you just mentioned.
Good New York raced and bred boy there.
Ithaca in upstate New York. Andy Green delivers a big check on Trevor Lewis. Fane back in his own zone to get the puck away from the on-rushing Pearson. Puck comes out to center and played ahead here to Michael Ryder. Bouncing puck into the Kings' end. Andy Green crashing into the zone. Willie Mitchell went down. Puck taken here by the Devils. Marek Zidlitsky throws it in front. Bouncing puck, it's loose. Taken here by Alec Martinez and shoveled away to Lewis. Marek Zidlitsky back to collect for New Jersey. Darts away from Vey and now motors on. Zidlitsky lost the puck. Picked up here by Dwight King. He's in. Jelena able to recover. Sharp angle try. Pops up into the mid of Schneider, who holds on. Jaromir Jagr, one of the heroes last night in that big win over Anaheim. Coming into tonight, you take a look at the players just in the Metropolitan Division. The Devils were 3rd in the division coming into tonight. Only 1 player in the division had a better plus-minus, Chris Kunitz of the Penguins. As a matter of fact, the top 5, all Devils and Penguins. Dinah Zubris, part of that group as well. Upon signing with the Devils July 23rd, you knew he would help power play. You knew he would add scoring balance. He has been a terrific 2-way player so far, Jaromir Jagr. Puck bounces out to center and taken here by Jake Muzzin, who fires in. Peter Harrell plays it ahead. Carter and Giunta able to help this puck out to center. Taken here by Muzzin. Frustration growing, though, for the Kings, too. Dominating the shots, dominating possession, but unable to break Corey Schneider and the Devils so far. Doughty back in his own end. He's hammered. Picked up here by Toffoli, who skates it away. Devils chop it back in deep, and Doughty takes one more time for the Kings. Tyler Toffoli on the move for LA. Dumps in. Picked up here by Mark Fane for New Jersey. Can't clear the zone. Stoll there to intercept. Pass across for Fratton. Couldn't control. And collected here by Tedenby. Tedenby dumps in. Lokdianov and Jansenov for this shift for New Jersey. Deep in the zone. Lokdianov trying to get on the puck. Taken away by the Kings. Given away. And back to the point. A big drive by Jelena is blocked away. That's Fratton who lost the stick.
Got broken right by a twig. with a big shot of Jelena.
Taken by Tedenby and dumps back in. And Portillo plays it across. Jansen hammers in. Tedenby able to hold the zone just a little bit longer, and now that line will come off. Job well done. Taken here by Fratton. The X-Leap over the line. He's leveled by a couple of Devils, and it's a trip.
Now, Jaromir Jagr doesn't take many penalties, Steve. Now, they think they've got Fratton in a position where maybe they could place a body on him and slow him down. He's been just racing around, and obviously no penalty to Jaromir Jagr. Jelena's hit maybe, but there's no way Jagr did anything. But there was a penalty, and they just got the wrong guy, but the Devils really making it tough for him, Steve, for themselves, or at least for Corey Schneider. But so far, so good. It's whitewash, 0-0.
Kopitar steps in, wins the draw. Drew Doughty gives here to Richards. Dishes off to Kopitar. Dustin Brown takes this. 4 forwards and Drew Doughty on the ice for the Kings. Taken here by Richards. Shot save made by Schneider, one of his best of the night, and now punched away to center. Schneider's 24th stop of the evening. Doughty on the move once again. Able to pick up Kopitar. Lost the puck as he got around Green, but works it back to the point. Doughty across to Richards. Pumps one in deep. Dustin Brown waiting for that. Loose in the corner. Elias giving chase to the puck. Instead, Kopitar holds for LA. Big Anze Kopitar, Kings leading scorer. Back to the point. Gives to Richards. Now Doughty at the point. Back for Richards. Fakes the shot. Dishes off. Gets it back from Kopitar. Blocked away in front. Justin Williams controls, and now Richards again. All pressure time here for the Kings. Redirected and now cleared away by Fane. Big clear for the Devils with 50 seconds to go on the penalty kill. Outlet pass to Vey. Deflects off his stick, and Ryan Carter will send it in deeper. Continues the penalty kill here with Steven Giunta. Muzzin picks up Vey. Lyndon Vey over the Devils line, plays it across, and a big shot goes wide of Schneider's cage. Picked up here by Muzzin, throws one in front, and punched away. Oh, the Devils dodge a bullet with 17 seconds to go on the Kings' power play. Here's Alec Martinez. Final rush for LA with the man advantage. Punched in by Muzzin, bouncing puck to Foley, played it across. Strong on the puck for New Jersey was Zubras, but at the point, Muzzin fires, saved by Schneider, gobbles it up, and he holds on. Back to 5-on-5, no score.
All roads leading to the front of the net for the Kings tonight. Here they do it again. This shot's going to hit 3 guys, but most importantly, it hits Corey Schneider, and a good collapse there by Zajac to recover the puck and chip it out, but that Matt Fratton gets another chance, a right-handed shot on the left side. Oh, beautiful left pad save there by Corey Schneider. And then Drew Doughty, shot bouncing around, and Corey says, I need a little water here. Would somebody bring me some water? And a little relief too, maybe, Steve.
Well, the scoring chances are off the charts. 17-1 in favor of the Kings at this point in the hockey game. He's denied Matt Fratton on 5 scoring chances alone so far. Picked up here by Zubras, who plays it across to Jaromir Jagr. Dumped in deeper. Dinas Zubras sealed off by Voinov. Here's Jelena pinching in along the near boards, battling with Trevor Lewis. Jagr trying to work the puck free, and the Kings able to get it out of the zone. Played across to the stick of Marek Zidlitsky. Jagr is leveled by Robin Regehr and slow to his skates in front of the Devils bench.
Yeah, he's had a bad hip, as you know, Steve. And Jaromir is bent over. And folks, those boards are hard, and I know you know that. And Beat the Boards not happy that Jaromir feet were taken out of him as he was going towards the boards here. Oh, their hip, right hip, right on the middle of the board. Regier rides him in. But I see Yager sitting there. He's bent over. But let's hope it's nothing that re-aggravates the injury he's had in his past.
Pete DeGore furious that the officials, Gord Dwyer and Steve Kazari, wanted the penalty called. Picked up here by Michael Ryder. Gives to Adam Henrique. Sends it out of the zone. Patrick Elias trying to get on the loose puck and get around Jake Muzzin. Bouncing puck picked up here by Henrique. Neat move, and he fired just wide. Oh, the Devils' best scoring chance of the night right there. Picked up here by Henrique. Elias tries to pull the trigger, instead taken away by Doughty. Dishes off to Justin Williams. Gets it back from Kopitar. Save again by Schneider. He's been brilliant tonight. Mitchell's shot blocked away by New Jersey. Dustin Brown lays it off here for Kopitar. Centering try for Justin Williams. Tried to pull the trigger. A Devil tied him up. Now Brown in the corner. Takes a bump from Larson. Kings work it back to the point. Here's Drew Doughty. Deep pass to Kopitar. Back to Doughty. Gets the shot away. Blocked away in front. That's Larson who punched it away and cleared. Icing against the Devils with 2:19 left in the period.
Well, probably his best game of the year as we're looking at Elias here. Try to battle and get that puck deep in the Kings zone. And finally, Adam Henrique breaks loose, but it's rolling, Steve. So when he tries to go top shelf, it goes over the net. Look at this. Bang, bang, passing. But Schneider not reading it, not getting set on the first pass, knowing it might get back to the other guy. So he's staying loose in the crease. He's not getting locked down into his stance until he's sure that there are no other options but the shot. And when the shot has come, and that's been at least 26 times that we're on net, he stopped them all. And I can't imagine how many have been blocked now, Steve. He said 7 in the first period. There's got to be another 7 here in the second.
And some others that just missed the net. Centering try by the Kings. Picked up here by LA and worked back to the point. Regier's shot. That's blocked by Adam Larson and sent the length of the ice again. Devils just doing what's necessary here. Time for the Cadillac Trivia Quiz. Patrick Elias is the Devils' all-time leader in assists with 562. Who's second all-time in that category? 940 career points for Elias at this stage. Off the draw, tangled up to Foley with Michael Ryder, and Elias gets it out of the zone. Devils now finally, after consecutive icings calls, can make that change. Kings break out. Pearson plays it across to Toffoli. At center. And Carter tried to send it in deep for Giunta. Taken here by Andy Green. Minute 40 to go in the middle period of a scoreless hockey game here in LA. Green winds it around, taken here by Ryan Carter. On with Bernier and Giunta on this shift. Steve Bernier comes crashing into the zone, but the puck jarred loose. Gratton sealed off by Giunta. Taken here by Ryan Carter for the Devils. Work back to the point. Zidlitsky with a shot blocked away by Gratton. Trying to get on the loose puck here is Ryan Carter. Picks it up to the corner. Taken here by Giunta. Excellent pressure by this line. Jarred loose. Alec Martinez winds it around to Pearson, and it comes out of the zone.
Last minute of play in the second period, fans. This is the McFlurry Minute.
A minute to go. Yager back for his first shift. Luciano tried to play it across, and that try blocked away by Scrivens. Loose puck near the circle. Yager trying to get a stick on it, but swept away by LA. Surge by the Devils late in the period as Zidlitsky gives it up to Jelena. And taken by Yager. He'll send Lukianov on his way. Pass across, blocked away by Carcillo. He picks up the loose puck in center and sends it in deep. Marek Zidlitsky for New Jersey. Plays it across, and now Yager. Controlled by Lukianov, and he fires one high and wide. Justin Williams plays it ahead, picked up here by Dustin Brown. 6 seconds to go in the period. Long-range try, steered aside by Corey Schneider. 40 minutes in the books, and look out there at the end, but the Devils still scoreless against the Kings. The
Devils tired out the Kings a little more on their own end. But here was the one rush that happened late in this third period. What a play there by Yager. And that's where Andre Lockdown, Steve. He's the next King. He's got to be the hero. He's got to take that pass, turn and try and go top shelf. Right now, you know, those slick passes are not working. Keep it basic. Turn and rip some shots on Ben Scrivens. So far, the Devils have only 5. Yes, 5 in the whole 40 minutes. I don't know if that's ever happened before. I'm sure it has, but not this year.
We'll hit the books between period. After the game, get reaction from Coach Pete DeBoer and the players, plus highlights. Chico's analysis on the Devils postgame show, presented by Esurance. It's immediately following the Devils and Kings here tonight on MSG+. Glad you've got the coffee brewing late. You're with us. Jaromir Jagr, the next one will be a milestone for him, 690. His next goal would equal his former teammate in Pittsburgh, Mario Lemieux. Jagr scored 689 in a big spot last night for New Jersey, the tying goal against the Anaheim Ducks. Devils wound up winning in overtime. And we're set for the third period here in Los Angeles. And let's put it this way. Can't really remember the last time the Devils have had a poor performance by a goaltender. Last night was the only time in the last 8, including this evening, that any Devils goalie allowed 3 goals in one game. And even in that, Marty Brodeur behind Corey Schneider tonight was just superb at times. 27 shots fired at that man. He's gotten them all.
Well, Pete DeBoer is thinking we got to get a power play chance. That would really help the Devils start to feel some confidence in their offensive part of the game. But the great news is, Steve, no matter how hard you've been for 2 periods, all you got to do is let it all hang out here in the third, and you can win this if you're the Devils.
Devils power play has had just 1 chance tonight. The Kings have had 3. Schneider again with the quick save. Kopitar now has the puck on his stick, and he rang it off the pipe. Shot by Doughty is deflected away, and the Kings come out a house of fire to start the third. Green picks up Zubris. Puck tangled up. The skates of Jake Muzzin, and now played ahead for Justin Williams. He's hit by Zidlitsky, and the puck taken here by the Devils. Andy Green pushes this ahead. Adam Henry into the Kings zone, sealed off by Robin Regeer. Takes the puck away and drops it back to Zidlitsky. Plays it across. First shot by Jelena, blocked away. Rookie defenseman stays with it, pumps it aside. Gives here to Henry. Elias sends it behind goal. Scrivens leaves this for Jarrett Stoll. Picked up here by Ryder for the Devils. Michael Ryder using that long extension. Throws one in front. Looks off Scrivens' stick and taken here by Robin Regeer. Now the Kings break out. Dan Carcillo, who had the scrap with Cam Jansen earlier tonight, dumps in. Gianta push, taken here by Ryder and punched down the center. Ryan Carter trying to get on the loose puck, but taken instead by Alec Martinez. Here's Gianta trying to get some energy going here for the Devils. There's a penalty coming up, and this is against New Jersey. Scrivens does not see the referee's arm in the air. Now we get the whistle as Bernier delivers a big hit in the corner, and look out, he got Willie Mitchell.
They had a run in the second period. Behind the play, they were giving each other a couple of quick shots. Of course, Steve was a King for a while. I think it goes back to the second. Steve really gave Willie a run into the boards. And now I'm not sure who's getting the penalty, though. Looks like Ryan Carter is being the one led over to the penalty box and giving a tremendous argument why he shouldn't have. We're getting doubles. Wow. Here's Kopitar, waits. I mean, that's just too much time for a goal scorer to have. Unfortunately, the post stepped in and made a difference. Okay, now that's got to be a hold. It couldn't be anything else. That'd be on Carter. That was borderline. And then here, Whoa, that one okay. I can give you a little bit of a charge there.
Bernier was in the box. He exited, Chico. There's only one penalty here. It's going to be to Ryan Carter for roughing, and that's all at 144.
I think they got the wrong sequence there. Carter didn't do much of anything.
New Jersey
Big guns are on for the Kings on the power play. Devils trying to get it out of the zone. Downey pushed it ahead. Taken here by Zubris. And the Devils send it out to center as it's knocked down with a high stick for a stoppage in play.
What a player Kopitar has been. When you think he comes from Slovenia, there's been not another player even close to making the NHL. His dad owned a ice arena, or he actually worked on an ice arena. Probably the only one in that country. So Nancy got a lot of chance to be on the ice and then went to Europe, I think it was Sweden, to hone his skills. And what a player he is, though. He will not be in the Olympics, of course.
The Kings just refer to him as our best player when they speak of Kopitar. Work back towards the point by Williams, and here's Doughty, who's got this taken away by Zubris, and a big clear.
Better than Doughty?
Well, you've got a lot of people in the conversation, don't you?
Yeah, no,
Dustin
I'm just
Brown,
curious.
Jeff Carter.
You're saying that says a lot.
Picked up here by Bay and worked across. Toffoli will pick this up off the boards. Work back towards the point. Taken here by Voinov. His shot blocked away by Andy Green, and another clear. Good start to the kill for the Devils. Minute 5 to go in the man advantage. Steve Bernier has gone to the locker room, but under his own power. We'll follow up on that when we can. Peter Harrell back in his own end. Swept away by Green and pushed out to center where Martinez plays it across for Muzzin. Jake Muzzin picks up Bay at center. Pass across, steered into the zone by Toffoli. Adam Larson twisting and turning. Centering try by the Kings goes all the way back towards the point and out of the zone. As soon as I say that, Steve Bernier comes back. He's on the Devils bench. Zajac, Zubris continuing the big kill here for the Devils. Back to the point, Martinez plays it across. Muzzin with a shot, and he fired it wide. Picked up off the boards by Richards. Played it across for Lewis. Puck taken here by Mark Bain, who sends this the length of the ice. Final seconds of the Kings power play. Trevor Lewis darts into the Devils zone. Tries to work around big Eric Jelena. Out of the box is Ryan Carter. Back to 5-on-5. And the puck pushed out to center by Zubris. Excellent kill for the Devils. No shots on goal on that Kings power play. Pass for Teddenby. Got by him. He did not touch the puck. That's an icing call against the Devils. The Cadillac trivia question earlier tonight. Patrick Elias, the all-time leading assist man in the history of the New Jersey Devils. We ask you who is second. I'll just take a logical guess. John McClain. How about you?
That's a good one. Someone who played a long time with the Devils, I'm sure. And we are going to get the answer. It's Scott Niedermayer. That was a surprise.
364 in the Hall of Fame career. Backhand try by Williams, and this is held by Corey Schneider.
Well, Corey Schneider just refusing to yield tonight. He has had no weakness in his game. And he knows that more is on its way. Steve, it's not like he thinks this is going to let up. This is like a storm that continues to pound away at the shore.
Kings win the draw as Kopitar got it back to Muzzin, and Anze Kopitar sends it back in deep. Andy Green. Devils can't clear the zone the first time. Now Fane is able to punch it out to center. 4.5 minutes into period 3. We're scoreless. Given away by Doughty to the stick of Travis Zajac. Followed up here by Jagr. Thrown back towards Jagr by Zubris, but all the way back into the Devils' end. Fane steers it away from the on-rushing Dustin Brown. Devils break out here. Adam Henry, cross-ice pass. Jagr tries to pick it up off the boards. Nice job to control and maneuver around Regier. Henrique along the near boards. Devils push it back towards the point. Carcillo was there waiting for it, and now gains the zone for LA. skipping and jumping around Adam Larson. Kings control behind the net. Pushed away by Larson. Now tries to send it out of the zone, but punched back in by Stoll. Peter Harold banks it off glass and sends it the length of the ice. Another icing call against the Devils. Our Tri-Honda game recap with 14:41 to go. Not a goal to be had tonight. The Kings are out shooting the Devils 29-5. Dustin Brown has 5 shots. Fratton has 5 scoring chances. There's Adam Larson. A lot of block shots. Devils have done well in that department tonight.
Wow, look at that, Steve. That just jumps right out at you. You can't hardly believe it's true. Andy Green maybe had the best scoring chance. That was from 180 feet away. Not really, but the Devils have both not been able to manufacture many, and then when they have had the opportunity, they've elected to pass a lot of times. But what a win this would be for New Jersey if they could find a way to pull out even a point here as we get down to the 14-minute mark.
Michael Ryder gobbles up a loose puck, takes it into the Kings zone and controls. Off the skate of Brian Carter. Taken here by Giunta. Back to the point, Jelena. Winds it behind the net, picked up here by Carter. Wraparound try, saved by Scrivens. Centering try by Carter, and Scrivens gets rid of that as well. Ryder in the corner. Giunta gets the puck free. Here's Carter, an excellent shift here. Tries to backhand one, he scores! Ryan Carter on just the Devils' 7th shot of the night, and New Jersey takes the lead.
Well, whatever happened to Bernier, or maybe it was just the line change, Coach DeBoer puts Ryder out with Giunta and Ryan Carter. I was laughing with Ryan yesterday. I said, now Ryan, keep that skill at a high level. There he wraps around and doesn't find the net. But here again, when he's going to get this puck as it punched behind the goal, watch what he does, Steve. He takes it wide. He's not just going to throw it in the front of the net. And then through a screen on the short side, he rips one by, I think it was Willie Mitchell as well as Ben Scrivens. Wow, what an individual effort by Ryan Carter.
His 3rd of the year. The first 2 were against the Rangers in their last victory over New York. Here's Bernier on the puck, hit by Vey.
And number 11, Steven Giunta. Time to the goal, 5
So the 3 peas in a pod back together. Carter from Bernier and Giunta to create the lone goal of the game. And this is Bernier once again for the Devils, dropping it back to Lokdianov. Throws one to the side of the net, and Scrivens has this. Will step aside. 13:35 to go. In regulation time, the Devils lead.
Last goal. Left arm Armstrong there by Ryan Carter. Then he gets the stick back on the puck, and he just rips his backhand. Watch Scrivens' head go this way. Watch how he's going to look to the left, and the puck goes to the right, and nobody sees it. I think even Ryan was a little surprised because he's just throwing it in a crowd. But the key was there, Steve, he got it up high. And when you're shooting into a crowd from that range, if you can, you want to think top corner. It's funny, the crowd has changed. They were okay with it being 0-0 and the Kings dominating, but now they started to boo this last shift, and let's see what happens.
Off the draw, controlled here by Fane. His wrist shot, and a dangerous puck goes wide of Scrivens' net. Collected here by Jaromir Jagr. Zajac deep in the zone. Now Zubris. And Jagr behind the net. Devils trying to pick it up a notch now that they've got the lead in LA, and Drew Doughty punches this ahead. Nice pass to Kopitar. It's a 2-on-1. Anze Kopitar shoots. They score. Following up, Justin Williams got a stick on it, and just like that, the Kings tie the game.
Well, what a play again by Kopitar. Art Fane has been pretty solid. Makes a bit of a risky pinch right there. Actually, it wasn't him so much. He thought it was coming to him right through the left arm, and that thing's heading into the net. And it's not that Williams is a goal hog. He just wants to make sure. Andy Green may have gotten a stick on that snapper too. Let's look here. I don't know, but that makes a more difficult save for the goaltender. But the Devils give it right back after working so hard to get the lead.
And we are back to where we started. Bouncing puck here, pushed ahead by Henrique. Elias in his own zone gets it out to center. On the Devils' goal, correction on the assist. The primary assist will go to Michael Ryder. The secondary to Gianta on the Carter goal. Zidlitsky chased back and taken here by Elias, who dumps it out to center.
The assist to number 11.
Barcillo steers this into the Devils' zone. Yelena leaves here for Zidlitsky.
And number 23, the captain, Dustin Brown.
Those are the particulars on the Kings game-tying goal. Williams with his ninth from Kopitar and Brown at 6:57.
At 6:57.
Goals coming just a minute 5 apart. Mike Richards, front of the Devils bench, now Carter. Lays it back out to center. Crowd comes alive now at the Staples Center after the Devils got them quiet quickly. Punched ahead by Peter Harold, and at center ice, here's Carter. Taken away by Kopitar. The Slovenian sniper gets around Larson, loose in front, and punched away by Adam Larson, who skates it away to center. He's got Zubris with him. Larson opts to dump in deep. And Zubris tied up with Kopitar. Now Jágr joins the fray, battling two with Drew Doughty. Big line right back on for the Kings. Williams tries to get it out of the zone. Instead, it comes to Scrivens behind his net. Devils trying to make it 3 straight wings. The Kings looking to make it 5 in a row. Picked up at center ice, controlled by Zajac. Takes a whack from Dustin Brown. Zajac holds the puck, drops it back, and saved by Scrivens off the shot from Elias. And taken back the other way. Here's Justin Williams over the line, tries to maneuver around Henrique, and played behind the net and controlled by Elias. Ryder darts back the other way as Henrique, able to crash into the zone, knocked away from Henrique, goes tumbling to the ice and no call. Zidlitsky takes this, funnels it ahead for Michael Ryder. Tries to shake loose of Slava Voinov, and now gives here to Carter. Carter, the power move in front, got a shot on, and Scrivens with the save.
Okay, we all want to see what breaks down. Devils have scored, so you want to kind of be sure. Now look at the puck goes up the boards. Oh, Jágr thought he could take him. Vane was covering right up the boards. A nice pass by Brown into Kopitar. And with his speed, he was able to break loose. And watch this here. I don't know, might not have gone in. The boys in the LA dressing room will have some fun with that, though, Steve.
Oh, take no chances there, Chico. He's got to get a stick on it.
Oh, of course. No, but I'm just talking about the fun of what they do when that happens.
Here's Carter again trying a similar move from a moment ago. It's loose in front of Scrivens. Bernier jamming at it. Steve Bernier throws one in front. Comes back to the point. Taken here by Zidlitsky. Redirection by Carter goes wide. The Devils finding their energy here in the third as it goes back to Jelena. Fires wide from long range, and now Zidlitsky getting into the act. He's sealed off by Regehr. Big hit by Jelena. Devils try to hold the zone, but it did come out, and offside is the call. Stoll going after, well, who is that in white? I believe it's Ryan Carter.
Was it Ryan Carter? I'm not sure. You thought it was Jelena threw the big hit?
Jelena threw the hit, and that is Ryan Carter pinned.
Okay. Well, Ryan Carter's been the best Devil here in the third, and they're trying to get him out of his game. Here are tonight's Timberland Pro Hard hits of the game highlights with sound effects. That was the last one that caused all the commotion in front of the Kings bench. They didn't go after Eric Jelena, but they did Ryan Carter, as Ryan Carter has scored a goal, came close a second time, and he's thrown some big checks. And obviously, Steve, this is the most energy the Devils have displayed in this game so far.
Better than halfway through period 3. Collected here by Andy Green, who fires into the Kings' end. Picked up here by Jágr. And punched back into the corner by Zubris. Winds around to the stick of Justin Williams. He has the equalizer tonight for the Kings. Weston Brown tries to chip it out of the zone. Loose puck picked up by Kopitar and gets it back from Williams. Dynamic duo tonight for the Kings. Kopitar drops it back towards Muzzin. Doughty a stick on it to punch it back in deeper. Andy Green trying to send it the other way for the Devils. Taken by Zajac and floated out to center. Muzzin quickly played ahead. This is the top line for the Kings. Williams delivers the big hit on Peter Harrell. Puck winds around towards the point, but collected here by Adam Henry. He'll dump in. Ryder will give chase. Delivers a check on Alec Martinez. It's jarred loose. Lakdianov on the loose puck for the Devils. Work back towards the point. Too aggressive for Larson. Devils have to get back on the delayed offside. Second of 3 this West Coast trip for New Jersey. The Rangers have won tonight. They beat Dallas 3-2. If the Devils want to stay in third, they need a win this evening. Peter Harrell back in his own zone. Picked up here by Ryan Carter, who skates it away. Long pass in the direction of Bernier. Steers it in deep. Big check delivered on Robin Regehr. Tracked down to the corner by the Kings and sent away by Matt Fratton. This will be icing against LA with 8:13 to go. A reminder, when it's done, Devils fans, stay tuned. The Devils post-game show is presented by Esurance Stats Analysis. Deb Lacey with the star of the game and more.
Well, the guy who gets the winning goal here, Steve, if that's what it comes down to, will probably be the #1 star. But right now, it's the guy with the big pads wearing number 35 for the New Jersey Devils.
Los Angeles.
Corey
Los Angeles
Schneider.
takes its 30-second
Wow, has he been good. And you know, Corey hasn't played, a lot, no back-to-back, so he doesn't mind this kind of work. It actually makes you feel good, especially when you're moving as well as he does, but we've mentioned this many times. There's less than 9 minutes to go. Devils just need to find a way to get him something. And that's what they're discussing over here now. But they have had their best sequences of the game. They had 2 or 3 lines coming one after the other with some sustained pressure. And the Kings look a little bit more nervous and less sure of themselves than they did for 2.5 periods. And the Devils, on the other hand, seem to have a little more zip in their step. And of course, the big line, Steve, Zajac, Jágr, and Zubrus are out there to try and lead the Devils as they did last night.
It's a line that did not wear down in the overtime game last night against a real physical team. See what they have here in the late stages. Off the draw, it's controlled by the Kings and skated here by Regehr. It was Daryl Sutter who used his timeout after the icing call as Jarrett Stoll sends it in deep. A stick came up high on one of the Devils, and not only that, a King is going to the box.
I think it's Stoll. He's really trying to forecheck here, Steve, but he drops one hand, and we'll see how dramatically he spins. Oh, gee, that's a bad call. Ooh, that's a terrible call. But there isn't even a grab right there. Oh, well. There's turning points in hockey games with big plays and some referees' calls, and now the Devils just want to take advantage of one that has gone in their favor.
They saw the play on the big board here at Staples Center and didn't like it. Taken here by Zidlitsky. Devils power play. Here's Jaromir Jágr. Patiently holds, takes it into the corner. Jágr centering try, loose in front, and cleared away by the Kings and Jake Muzzin. Schneider leaves here for Zidlitsky. At 35 to go in the Devils' man advantage. Zidlitsky picks it off the board, sent into the zone by Jágr. Mitchell trying to clear the zone, can't do it. That's Bernier who got in the way of that. But Doughty has time and space to send it away for LA. Personnel change for the Devils. The wave that comes on now. Zidlitsky takes the puck. Zelena's on the ice now. Elias, Henrique, and Michael Ryder to continue the power play. Poked in deep by Zelena. Elias trying to get on the loose puck. Battling forward Regehr for LA. Comes loose and collected here by Jelena. Shows nice poise, plays it off the board, gives it here to Henrique. Back to Jelena at the point, looks to buy some space. Gives here for Ryder, gets a shot away, and he fired it wide. Ryder quickly on the puck again for the Devils. He's hounded by Bay, comes away with the puck. Ryder has it knocked off his stick. Back to the point, taken here by Green. Gives to Jelena, played across Henrique. Couldn't handle it cleanly. Taken here by Green. Back to Jelena. Fires, save made by Scrivens. The rebound comes loose. Back to the point for Green. 20 seconds to go in the Devils' power play. Henrique across, bouncing puck. Jelena trying to find the handle. Back for Green at the point. Dishes off for Henrique to Ryder. He shoots, blocked away in front. Green, another try. Final seconds of the man advantage. Henrique has got it. Back to the point. Batted away by Lyndon Bay. Big intercept of the pass at the end of the power play for LA.
Going off for the student receiver, a huge block. I don't know which Devil had a dead center low in the spot, but he hit the shin pad instead of the back of the net.
5-on-5 with 5:40 to go in regulation time. Larson gets it away from the on-rushing Mike Richards. And the Devils punch it out to center. This puck deflects out of play. We'll step aside. Stay tuned. Thrilling finish. 1-1 with 5:32 to go.
The point of the game is brought to you by Lexus, continuing the pursuit of perfection. Now, you might not realize this, but watch the goaltender. He's going to fall. And Adam Henrique has the puck, but he can't watch at all. He's looking at the puck. He doesn't see that Ben Scrivens is on the ice. The whole top of the net there is open. And even the Kings defenders do not realize that their goalie is out of the play. And Adam couldn't have seen it, but if he had, all he would have had to do was just flick it up into the top of the net. But instead, it's 1-1, and now, Steve, the Devils are in. Let's get a point out of this at the very least.
Big defensive zone face-off here, and that's the first one that Travis Zajac has won in the defensive zone tonight in a big spot. He was 0 for 6, but now he has to do it again. It's icing.
Fans, tonight's attendance,
Face-offs are as much about when you win them as how many.
The Los Angeles Kings, thank you for your continued support.
They've got a lot of firepower, Steve, and you know they want to keep their little run going. They want to win a row.
Off the draw, this time Kings get it back to Drew Doughty. The Devils send this the length of the ice once again. Wash, rinse, repeat.
Well, this is quite a contrast. I know the stakes are a little different, but first game back here at Staples since Game 6, when the Devils lost 6-1. I don't know, I remember even over the years, Steve, Kings Devils games were always pretty close and hard fought. There's a big crowd here tonight, so I think they get a sense that the Devils are a good team to watch.
Excitement building after that great road trip that the Kings had, certainly. The big story of Ben Scrivens, overshadowed tonight by Corey Schneider, certainly, but a player who allowed just 2 goals in a span of better than 215 minutes of play coming into tonight.
Should mention a lot of Devils fans here tonight. I'm surprised how many I saw before the game out in the concourse.
Pass by Williams, broken up by the Devils, and Travis Zajac takes this out wide. Bernier gives it back to Zajac, centering try in front for Ryan Carter, deflected off his stick, and straight to Kopitar. Long-range try, Schneider spears that aside. Adam Larson reverses course, gives here to Peter Harold, and now Carter has this. Plays it across for Larson. Ahead for Steven Gianta, trying to get on the puck. Willie Mitchell, the defenseman, back for the Kings. Those two get tangled up. Gianta has the puck. Plays it back for Larson. His wrist shot fired just wide off the backboard. Bernier tried to collect, but couldn't. Racing into the Devils zone. No ice in here. Jarrett Stoll, first man of the puck. Collected here by Parcillo. Broken up by the Devils, and Elias sends it out to center. Fired back in by the Kings. Eric Jelena tangled up with Matt Bratton. Bratton controls for LA. Jelena has him pinned against the boards. Devils fight for the puck. Kings get it across though for Laguerre. His shot blocked away off a leg in front. White King into the circle. Puck jar to the opposite side. Boyno sends one right through the crease. The Kings starting to buzz here late in the third. Goes behind Schneider's net. Now Jelena trying to chop at the puck, and the Devils just trying to get it out of harm's way. It does deflect into the bench with 3:20 left.
Well, Devils starting to go to the net. They bumped Scrivens a couple times. Here you're going to see again. That's Bernier earlier with Elias, and that shot just went wide. I don't know if the referee would have waved it off or not. Ben saying you would have, right? But I saw the referee say no. You know, Bernier was pushed into you, so I would have counted it. But the Devils doing some of the things they wish they probably would have done earlier. They had 5 shots coming into this period. Now they're up to 6. And they're starting to themselves kind of get some chances around the Kings' net.
Devils have 11 shots. If you're wondering about a franchise low for a single game, that is the number, 11. October 27, 2001 versus Buffalo. Right now they're even with that mark. Kind of Zubris. Battles forward along the far boards. Andy Green delivers a check on Dustin Williams. 3 Devils in the corner. Zidlitsky can't get the puck. Taken here by Muzzin. He fires. Save made by Schneider as it comes back to Drew Doughty. Doughty at the point. Wrist shot is fired wide. Now Muzzin drops this back. Collected by Williams. His shot blocked away in front. Taken by the Kings. Punched back towards the point. And no, Justin Williams could not hold the zone according to the linesman Thor Nelson.
That's a big call because the Kings really had some swirling going on there. Oh no, and I just watched on the big board. That did not go out. No, it was on in, but Williams keeps it in. Another good opportunity for the Devils. But some of the calls go your way some nights and others they don't, but the Devils want to capitalize on the ones they've had here tonight.
Bernier and Lewis in an individual battle before they drop the puck. The Kings get it back to Willie Mitchell. Devils are 2.5 minutes away from collecting a point. They want more as they continue this West Coast trip. Taken here by Fratton and dumped in. Lewis giving chase. Mark Fane battling for the loose puck. 3 Devils behind the net. Punched loose, taken here by Fratton. He's checked by Steven Gianta, and the puck taken away by Fane. Knocked down with a high stick, and Willie Mitchell is called for the whistle.
Well, if I'm a Devil player and I'm out there with Ryan Carter, I want to get the puck in his hands. He's just exploded here in the third. He's going to the bench now. But he's looked the most confident, most determined with the puck. He scored the 1 goal. That line will get another crack at it. There's only maybe a shift or 2 for each line now for the Devils.
Off the face-off, Boynon quickly on the puck for LA. Backs it out to center, waiting for it, Zidlitsky. He fired this off glass. Doesn't stop it. Face-off will be in the neutral zone.
Well, Corey Schneider, look at the intensity in those eyes of his. But he knows what's at stake too, Steve. He would certainly be the star of the game. The Devils can finish this off.
Devils dominated for the first 2 periods. They have more scoring chances here in the third, 7-3. Big hit by Enrique. On Boynon. Puck is jarred loose. Mike Richards plays this ahead. Toffoli tied up by Andy Green as the puck comes here to Elliott. He takes a hit from Regier. And funneled ahead for Richards. Sends it into the Devils zone. Puck deflected off the linesman, and now Richards throws it back in. Harold plays it across. Jaromir Jagr over the line. He'll give chase. Battling with Jake Muzzin. Zajac keeping the King zone as well. Played back to the point. Peter Harold takes. Throws one towards goal. That's Scriven who's got the puck just as he's knocked down.
Well, again, Devils getting in the face of Scrivens here late in this period. And this time it's Big 68 throwing it back to the point. And battles Muzzin for the front of the net. And it's the King defenseman, Muzzin, who actually falls into his own goaltender. But by then, Scrivens had it safely in his glove.
Exactly 1 minute left in the third. Zubris and Kopitar Off the draw. Justin Williams just took the loose puck and plays it across for Dustin Brown. One hands one into the Devils zone. Andy Green able to recover for the Devils, and now Yager trying to feather it out of the zone. It's knocked out to center by Dinas Zubris. Quickly played across. Justin Williams sends one wide of Schneider's cage. Picked up here by Brown. Knocked off his stick by Mark Fink. Williams deep in the zone. Doughty in the corner for LA. Drops it back. Brown turns around, tries to send it towards net. Kopitar on the puck for LA. Shovels one in deep. Kings buzzing here in the final minute. Played back towards the point. Chipped out of the zone by Dinas Zubris. Icing waved off as Doughty plays this. Gianta all over the Kings all-star defenseman. And a last rush here for LA. Here's Trevor Lewis. Sends it into the Devils zone. Harold is back. 5 seconds to go in the third. Zidlitsky. And the Devils take the puck and take this to overtime. 1 point in the books. 4-on-4 coming up. Shots on goal, 32-12 in favor of LA, but all even on the big board.
Now we're back to the start of overtime, and there's a hero from last night. And let's see how it unfolded in case you haven't seen it. What a goal, one you'll probably never see again in your lifetime. There you see the play by Zubris into Zajac. Travis is hooked and tangled, so he kicks the puck off the goalie's pads, and then Lovejoy rips it right off the shin pads of his own man. Now you talk about playing to the end. Now look at that hit by Bernier, and he stuns Lewis. Lewis had trouble getting to the bench. Whoa. And sometimes, these were great, I thought great views of the hitting that happens in the National Hockey League game. I don't even think we realize how hard these guys play to try and finish their checks. Now the Devils want to just finish this game off with something similar they did last night.
They'll start with the pairing of Patrick Elias and Jaromir Jagr. The Kings will use Kopitar with Dustin Brown.
Now this is the 4-on-4 right now with the Kings, whoever they have out there. It's all about puck possession. You do not want to give it up unless it really has to be.
Off the draw, it goes into the Kings' end, and Jake Muzzin has this for Los Angeles. Jelena Zidlitsky, the defense pairing to start overtime. Dustin Brown over the line for LA. Tangled up by Jagr.
Whoa. Oh, Jagr. Is it a dive? Oh, he's giving Brown a dive. Oh, Steve.
Both going.
Well, yeah, he's giving Brown a dive. Oh, boy. I mean... Jagr knows, like, he's so intense at trying to get this puck, and he's got big arms, and he just reaches out and spins Brown down. I don't think Brown, right here, watch. I mean, that's not an embellishment. That's, if you're a Devils fan, who cares?
New Jersey penalty to number 68, Jaromir Jagr, 2 minutes for holding.
Oh, but Jaromir's just thinking it's just him, and he is so happy. It's like a reprieve.
Oh, boy.
Well, this should be entertaining. Let's see how the teams attack this. Face-off will be to the right of Corey Schneider. It's 3-on-3 for the next 2 minutes.
Both teams going with one forward and two defense, and the Devils have two of their better puck handlers out there in Green and Zidlitsky.
For the Kings, Kopitar is on ice with Muzzin and Doughty. Zidlitsky takes the puck and starts this for New Jersey.
Well, if they change the rules, Steve, next year for overtime, we may see more of this 3-on-3. Let's see how it looks.
Puck taken here by Green. Devils are offside. 14 seconds into this.
It's one of the considerations that the league is considering, because there are so many shootouts. They want to lower that number. I know people that I know that are general managers think that it doesn't get scored or settled 4-on-4. Let's do some 3-on-3. We don't see it very often, but I'm curious to how it looks.
Collected here by Doughty. Kopitar gets moving. Muzzin into the attack with big Andrei Kopitar. Takes a hit from Andy Green. Work back to Doughty, who's got it for LA. Elias sticks close to him. Steps on for the Devils. Taken here by Muzzin. Shot save made by Schneider.
This is old-time hockey, Steve, in that it's all one-on-one. You got your man, you got to cover him. There's no like collapsing down and 2 or 3 guys covering for each other.
Elias takes the pass. Devils are onside. Nice move by Green. Shoots, and a big save made by Scrivens. Mike Richards back for the Kings. Crosses up. Richards plays a big save by Corey Schneider as he denies Voinov. Back the other way comes Harrell. Peter Harrell plays it across, and the big chance there by Jelena just missed. Jelena into the corner for Adam Henrique. Tries to shake loose of Regier. Nice move by Henrique. Backhand try, saved by Scrivens, who got rid of that.
This is really fun, Steve. All this one-on-one hockey all over the ice.
Half a minute to go in the 3-on-3. Kopitar's back on. He shoots, save made by Schneider. Played back to the point. Willie Mitchell with a drive. Blocked away by Henrique. Henrique at the tail end of his shift has to get to the bench, and he does. Replaced by Zubras. Darting out of his own end, Drew Doughty plays it across. Kopitar played back for Doughty. He's got Mitchell at the point. Doughty opts to hold. Plays it back for Kopitar. Yager is out of the box with Brown. Taken away here by Zubras. It's 4-on-4 now. Zidlitsky is in. Marek Zidlitsky puts the brakes on. Plays it for Yager. He scores! Jaromir Yager! The game winner in overtime, and the Devils beat the Kings 2-1.
Unbelievable. Half the team going to congratulate Schneider. Half going to Jaromir Yager, who ties Mario Lemieux and Gordie Howe for game-winning goals. And overtime goals, wow. But that's a game winner as well. He wants that puck. Wow, what a special one, Steve. To tie Mario Lemieux in goals, also to tie Gordie Howe, that will have a place of prominence for Jaromir Yager. It's almost unbelievable, Steve. He takes a penalty, and then he comes out of the box. He lives a charmed existence, a lot by his own effort, but there you see Scrivens with a nice save. And how about Corey Schneider? As great as nice as it was, and important and historic for Yager, it's still Schneider. And that was Jelena with a hard pass. Almost could get it on a stick, but it went wide. But Dainius Zubras, good hit, up pass. And Marek Zidlitsky, again, you might not like all that he does, thinks he's a little weak defensively. Only a few guys can have that patience and make that play. And that's tonight's goal of the game is brought to you by Nissan. This holiday season, get big savings at Nissan Season to Choose. Shop ChooseNissan.com. Unbelievable, Steve. I just feel bad that I think a lot of people probably went to bed for good reasons. But such a historic night. I mean, I am just so happy that I got to see this.
And he extends his own overtime record, the 18th time, the most prolific overtime goal scorer in regular season NHL history. Look at that bench. We're back, and we're going to try to dissect this and do our best on the Esurance Devils post-game show. Devils are 2 for 2 on the West Coast trip with the Sharks coming up Saturday night.